be there for the Eagles W team. westcoasteagles.com.au for more information, because you would have seen them play last week against the Gold Coast Suns, and they did the job, 5-5-35 to 2-8-20. And this week they head to Windy Hill, your old stomping ground.
Yeah, did some of my best work there.
Yes, taking on Essendon, who are coming off a record score. Daisy Pearce has been kind enough to join us, the coach of the Eagles, in the studio. What a great way to start. Good morning.
Morning, Goss. Hey, Scotty. Yeah, positive start to the year, and good one in front of the home crowd, and had the boys come down, which was awesome, and created a real atmosphere as well.
They were up and about on the balcony, weren't they?
They were. Coincidentally, all 5 of our goals were kicked at that end of the ground. But no, it was a great night for the club just to have, both squads sitting up on the balcony and having chatted to a few of the boys. They genuinely loved their night at the footy, and we'll be back, so it was good.
Well, one more win and you've had a better year than them. Now, can I just I just thought I'd throw it in because Daisy didn't want me to say it. Alrighty, what did you make of the overall performance? A win is a great way to start, but just the overall vibe inside the group, what a win does for the group.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good win, to start off the season. But I think what it does is just buy you a bit of energy for a few weeks to continue on with the work. I think after a long pre-season, and they're extra long in AFLW, to get a win early just creates that little bit of belief that what we've been working on works, and it just gives us a bit of energy to keep going with it. So that was the real positive. But I think the pleasing things for us was we've done a lot of work on our team defence, so to be able to keep them to 2 goals was a big tick. And then our physicality across 4 quarters. I mean, Gold Coast had moments where they came back at us and had the momentum. Our ability to kind of swing that back is something that we've been working on. So that consistency across 4 quarters is probably the most complete game I've seen us play. And then the evenness of contributors. I know we had, some out-and-out performances from Ella Roberts and Luchia Painter, who got the rising star, but players like Courtney Rowley, who went down back and was solid as, was a win. And then Jess Wrench, who played as a back last year, coming into our midfield and just adding a different dynamic with her tackle pressure and the defensive side of her game to really support the players like Ella and Abby Bushby, who are dangerous when they get the ball in their hand.
One of my questions I was going to ask you, and I think that you'd be really, really happy with, which you've already just touched on, is the momentum swing, right? So they came at you, was it second quarter, they really came hard at you, and they turned it for about probably 8 to 9 minutes, and you're under immense pressure, but managed to flip that around. Now, changing momentum in a game of footy is hard.
Yeah.
Your girls did it beautifully.
Yeah, that was one of our most positive things, and I think it was our backs held up really well, which was exciting, especially given we'd lost Beth Schilling early in the game. It sort of speaks to that system that we're building, that it stands up no matter who's out there, which I think will give them great belief. But the other thing I think is just a bit of trust in what you're trying to do. I think the temptation when momentum swings is to, when you're an inexperienced side, be out there and go, oh, what do we need to change? What do we do? What's happening? And a bit of unknown. Whereas once you start to believe in what you're trying to do, it's something that we came into this game to try and achieve. We're not doing well. What is it? And let's just get back to doing that. It's not a matter of needing to invent something in that moment. It's just get back to what we know we do well and do it better. And I think that's what they managed really well throughout the game.
10 years in the AFLW now for the competition, and you, of course, a pioneer for that as a player and a premiership player, and now a coach in your own right here in the West. Are we now seeing, and I've listened to the Lauren Woods and to Libby Birch last night, she was on Fox as well, talking about her book and the like, that we're looking at now a generation of girls who have played football all the way through. So there are 8 to 9, and we're now starting to see the continuity of playing, not having to stop, not being able to play against the boys.
Not having a 3-year break.
Exactly right. Just tell us about, have you noticed right now what's 100%. Come through?
And I didn't need round 1 to see it. I mean, you look at the batch of draftees we got this year, and naturally you think, I don't want to overload the first-year players with too much information when you're out on the track. And very quickly you realise, there's no overloading them. They've got an amazing capacity. You say to a first-year player like, what do you think of that one, Boydie, who was our 3rd pick in the draft? I should have slid and this and that. And they've just got it like that. Their understanding is so much better. They come better prepared for all the rigours of the game. Like Lou, for all the talent she has, she's strong, she's fit because she's done programs like strength and conditioning programs. I hadn't seen a gym program when I got to Melbourne, whereas she's an absolute weapon, and they just come with the skill set that enables them to adapt quicker. But, I mean, I only had to watch Zippy Fisher's game against Richmond was unbelievable. I sat there and went, all right. Enough with the rule tweaks. We don't need rule tweaks to fix, in inverted commas, this game. Like, it's coming.
Yep.
It's investment and opportunity for these athletes. That's what's going to change the game, and it's changed. Like, you only had to watch this week of footy and see the 18-year-olds shine and what they bring to the game. Investment and opportunity. It's not as good as Ash Centre is. We're talking about her like she's this freak, once-in-a-generation talent who's popped up out of the ground. No. It's investment and opportunity with a healthy dose of her individual talent. And I think we can kind of slow down and take comfort from what we've seen over the weekend and stop trying to manufacture what the game needs to be and just let it happen through investment and opportunity.
So let's talk about, at the moment we're 16 aside. Do you want that to remain?
I've always been of the view that I think 18 would help, but that's just like an anecdotal view. I don't actually know what the science is. But to me, on the same size oval, to not have another pair out there, I don't think it actually affects the density around the ball. It takes a pair off the outer edge and I think if they were there, it might encourage quicker play because you'd kick at them. But obviously people who are paid more than me know that it's working or not. But I suspect maybe a bit of it also was while the depth was growing, it's one less pair out there. Financially, the implications of that, all of those kind of things. But two less pairs. Yeah. That's how well I'm going. I can't even do the maths. But I don't know. I'm not strong on that one way or another. But my hot take is that I think it would actually be better with 18 out there. But who knows?
Last year we were talking about, I guess, the gap in, not professionalism, but fitness, strength, maybe preparation of the Eagles, and compared to a Melbourne, a Brisbane, Footscray, it seems to have closed right up. That's? I think you've answered that question again, though, by the fact that these girls haven't had 3 years off. They've been playing football the whole time. Your science and your sports science is getting better and better. Your team looks fitter. They look stronger. They look just looking better, Nick, than they ever have before.
Yeah, absolutely. We bolstered that part of our program this year with Sam Batterton coming across from Melbourne, and in addition to Wes, who was our high performance manager previously. So to have two resources in that space has meant we've just been able to individualise what we're doing a lot more and put the foot down, and pleasingly it hasn't cost us health. So I think, our squad's improved significantly in that space, but another pre-season into every squad, I reckon they'd all have risen the bar a little bit. So we are going after closing the gap, and we feel like we might have eaten into it a little bit, but I'm sure that, the Brisbanes of the world and Melbourne, another year for them, they've probably just gone to another level as well. So we've got to keep doing more in that space.
There's the coach in it, Goss. We're not there yet.
Well, they're not.
Keep working.
Yeah, well, see, again, I go through this and
complacent.
I look at Brisbane. I know they lost against Hawthorn, I think it was. It was a terrific game. It was a tight game. But I look at Brisbane and they just look bigger and stronger and fitter. And
we haven't seen the ceiling yet. I mean, someone like Emma Swanson, she's a hard worker, elite pro. Like, she's set the standard at West Coast for a long time. She's still PBing in a lot of what she does. So because 10 years into the comp and she's come out of the ilk that like, her stone hasn't been bled yet because she just hasn't had exposure to the resourcing that she has now. It's the best it's ever been for her as well. So she's still got an opportunity to improve. So it will just keep growing. And sadly, as Goss said, the Brisbanes of the world are going to keep getting better for a while as well.
We have covered off all the big topics here at the Breakfast Show, right? And one of the big topics was we went very early on a name for Luchia Painter. Now, we've started something here, and we think we're going to maintain. Now, I know there's the Lush, because of Luchia Painter, and we know that came from Jake Waterman, and we know all that, the boys on the... We don't think it's going to stick. West Coast Eagles media department wants that to stick. We're going with something, and I've got... Original, and I got a bit scurrilous with it because I did text the Fox crew while they were on air the other week. Harford,
said that's ours.
So you're doing some background work to try and get it going.
Yes, and this is how it all played out on the back of her performance. Have a listen to this little montage for the girl we call The Brush.
And then pick 7, Luchia Painter, as you said, dubbed The Brush. booted 3 goals in that third term.
Courage was good, and a free kick's going to Painter. For the Eagles third, for her first in the big time. Welcome to the AFLW. Eagles have come to life, one-on-one up forward, Painter in front. Gervin did well. Painter's left foot shot is home. Luchia Painter's got 2. Patrol the sky, Roberts. Painter! Oh, what are we seeing? Luke Painter for a hat-trick. Oh, yes, Lou. It's all up to you.
Hearing fresh from the West that the nickname for Painter is the Brush.
Some magnificent nicknames we've got. The Brush is the clubhouse leader early.
Yep.
So we're going with it. Sorry, Dace.
I'm really sorry to burst your bubble, but I reckon I've heard loosh this week maybe upward of 200 times
That's just
in the 4 walls.
It's too internal 4 wall stuff, yeah.
I might try and get the loosh brush going.
We're going to see some joint promotion between those two pretty soon, aren't we? Between Jake and
Yeah,
the Brush.
the double loose.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. Whatever, she's a terrific player, but so is Ella Roberts. Her first quarter, and I know we talked about Ella Roberts ad nauseum every time we talk about West Coast, but as you say, I think the gap between your elite players in your group and the ones coming through, the gap has sort of certainly been minimised.
But Ella bounced onto the scene as like the star. But is she 20?
She's 20,
Yeah,
she's 20.
she was amazing.
So,
and her first quarter, I've never seen anything like it.
It's right up there, isn't it? I mean, that's what she has the ability to do. But I think it was, pleasing for her. She's put a heap of work in. Like, she's starting to put the pieces of the puzzle around being an elite player in
Too
place.
selfless. I reckon she made some very team-oriented decisions when she should have gone for home. Like, when she's 45 out,
really?
she kicks to a fat side lead who's 35 out. No.
Do you want me to come and talk to her? I'll get that out of her in a flash.
I felt she was too team.
Oh, don't worry, Goss. I'm often telling her, just drive your legs and you be the one that kicks it. So I might just cut that up if you don't mind. A little edit of what you just said, and I'll take it to her today.
It is that one bit, though, where you have to have the confidence to say, ball's in my hand now, I'll take care of this.
Yeah, I think that part of her game's building. But when you're a young kid and the amount of attention she gets, she wants to be a good teammate. So subconsciously, I think she's fighting that a little bit. You don't want to be the centre of attention all the time, as much as she's a star. And amongst your teammates, you don't want to be seen as the one that does that. So,
but you don't want to blunt her effect that she can have, her star,
that's
star
the thing.
factor.
And I think her teammates get energy off seeing Ella do what only Ella can do. So, it's something that we're always working on, is for her to have that confidence that it's not selfish, it's actually what the team needs. But I think it's building, and, as good as her first quarter was with her ball in hand and doing the miraculous things, I thought she played a big hand in the third quarter as well, with her work rate and movement around stoppages. And I think that's the other thing for a young player to start to understand, is that you have a first quarter like that, all the attention goes on you. You keep working and you draw a crowd, and it opens up things for everyone else. So she was a big factor in Lou getting in on the end of them in the third quarter.
When she cramped up, was there any danger that one of her teammates might want to come within of like a handball area?
Push me toes back, please.
Just come
Someone help me.
Take the ball off her. Somebody, please. It was driving me insane. Hey, Wrench, Bushby, Britton and Painter all signed up yesterday, which is great news for the footy club. Harley Reid also signed a 9-year deal, but no one cared about that. Just tell us a bit about keeping the girls around, and that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Geordie, our list manager's done a great job since he came on board the last couple of years, just building depth in our squad and that young talent, being able to keep the group together. So to retain those four, Jade Britton's a real role player. She's an emerging leader, one of the natural communicators on the ground, which is important on the wing. Bushby's building and a really exciting talent, and I thought she played a sneaky good game on the overshadowed by some bigger stars the other night, but it was exciting for her. And then Wrench and Painter, who live together, and I've never seen two people with more energy. Like, they get in there, they'll be in there by now. Training doesn't start until 10, and they never stop. So they're a good match to live together. They'd probably annoy anyone else, but it works with them together. But they're like, I think all successful teams have those young players that are just driving up from underneath. And the day where training gets a little bit, going through the motions, you've got these young ones who have got energy and aggression and aren't waiting for anyone to tell them what to do. They're just cracking in. So a really positive week for the club, retaining those 4 young players.
Hey, what about you? No one, your football brain is second to none, but you've also got a bloke sitting above you in John Worfold who knows a bit about the game as well and has had success like you. How much do you talk to Woosh? Do you chew his ear a bit? Because I'd imagine you're someone that will never ever stop learning, that will never ever stop seeking information or advice.
Yeah, I've learnt heaps from Woosh, and he's just been so good to have around the footy club. I think he's elevated sort of the expectation around our program, which has been good. I remember it happening at Melbourne where it went from, it's great to have the girls here and they're going to grow the game and inspire the next generation, and it was a bit of a warm feeling, and then it shifted to like, no, how are you going to win? And why didn't you win on the weekend? And what are we doing to go a step further next year? And that's how you want to be seen as athletes and in an elite program. So to have Woosh come on board and sit across both programs, he's brought that level of experience and the elite standards he drives, which has helped elevate us. And, you put you under pressure in the best possible way. So to have him sit in our box on the weekend and not so much in the moment, he kind of lets us do our thing, but he's got some great follow-ups as to what we can do better and what he saw. So, yeah, we're constantly bouncing off him for ideas and ways to improve.
When he speaks, you listen.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Can I ask you, what's your, and I mentioned it in the opening of the show, and I got to, you can't ask that question. I'm going to ask it because I've got you right here in front of us. No point talking about you while you're not here. But, this is, you're only in your infancy with regards to coaching in your own right. You had that taste at Geelong. Do you have any aspirations to get into the men's system?
Not aspirations where I sit there and think that's where I'm heading and I see it as the next rung sort of thing. I actually really look forward to the day where it's kind of viewed as similar jobs. And, I take the focus off me for a moment. It's like I was thinking about Melbourne during the week with Simon Goodwin, no longer the Melbourne coach, and you just go, I hope someone's asked Mick Stanier to go through the interview process who coaches women's. Like, I know he's not female himself,
so
but
he's the premiership coach.
He's a premiership coach, 10 years in at Melbourne. And I just think it'd be a great cross-reference as to the strengths that he would have developed coaching the AFLW team. I wonder if he gets a gig at the interview to just see where he sits in the schema of things.
So man, woman or child, it doesn't matter.
Well, no, and I think to coach in an AFLW program, you're not as well resourced. So the actual work that you do is a lot more fast-reaching because you don't have other people doing things for you. So you're part analyst, you're part footy manager, you're part assistant coach, you're part development coach. So someone like him
You're exhausted.
would have an incredible skill set, having done it for 10 years, to be able to then go in and manage a program, I believe. And if not him, because I probably sound like I'm spruiking my great mentor, but someone like Matthew Clark at Adelaide or Craig Starcevich, successful, sustained, long period of time managing their own team. Why not? But for me personally, right here and now, I've just got so much to learn in the job that I'm doing, and I feel like we're so early on our journey in terms of what we're trying to achieve with this young West Coast squad that it doesn't occupy my thoughts by any measure. I just want to be the best that I can be for as long as I can and see where that takes me.
On the road against Essendon this week, for Sparkus, Nan Scorn, who of course is not only gets the ball but is a tackling beast, Steph Kane, who we know so well over in WA, and that's discounting Too Good and others who play for Essendon, coming off their biggest ever score in AFLW, playing at Windy Hill. Just for some of your younger players, is it still an issue, the travel factor and staying in a hotel and being on a plane? Is that part of the education of being a so-called professional footballer?
We definitely educate on it and don't assume, but our leaders have done a good job with that this week. Like, there's the thing of having to travel a lot is that no one travels better or gets as much practice at it. So you don't assume that they're going to be fine, and we've obviously welcomed in a number of new players this year, so you sort of go back to it again with the education and setting up what it should look like, but we trust them to get it right. We travelled quite well last year, and I think our group actually enjoyed time spent on the road together. Being part-time athletes and short season, you don't get to do a lot of it. So this weekend we're actually staying in between games. We've got St Kilda the following week, so we'll spend a week in Melbourne to minimise some of the travel, but what it means is you're in a hotel for a week in between. So it's a great opportunity that the club allow us to do that, and rather than looking at it as an issue or a negative, we try and turn it into a bit of an advantage and allow them to prepare as normally as possible, but in the little windows you get, kind of spend time together, and that connection and bonding piece is something that we see as a positive.
Do you have to talk to the girls, because I got spoken to a lot about eating differently, or eating too much? 'Cause it's a buffet breakfast,
Well,
or a
yes,
buffet lunch.
that was one of the dot points on Sam, our high performance manager's
What you
slide
normally
this
eat.
week, is that just because there's shops and a buffet doesn't mean you have to eat more than you normally would.
Yeah,
But
I got told that.
did you?
A few times. Yeah.
How's that
Every second
going?
week. It didn't work, and nothing sunk in. But it's those little things, though.
Oh, yeah.
And you're staying in a hotel. It's easy to get into holiday mode.
Yes, yeah, and for us, it's probably the social side of things, that not exhausting the social battery. They love spending time together. They're a connected group. But you can walk into the team room and there's 20 of them reading horoscopes at the top of their lungs and burning energy or something like that. Just little subtle things that mount up over the course of a week. But to be honest, I think they've done it a lot. They've got some people that are really experienced at it that are guiding the way, and we just trust them to strike the right balance. And they seem to have. Last year we had a pretty good record on the road, and we'll see how we go.
Do you take the Liz with you? It's a long time to be away from your kids.
Not this year, because it's in the middle of the school term.
Oh,
so
yeah, go to school.
That
Stay
excuse. You're at school.
Earn your keep.
Holiday mode's okay for the coach.
Exactly right. Hey, don't forget, be there for the Eagles W team at their next match, which is at Mineral Resources Park in round 4. So back after the St Kilda clash, which is round 3. Head to westcoasteagles.com.au for more information. They are a winning group. They're coming off the Essendon. Just one line on Essendon, as we've mentioned, chock full of talent at home and coming off their highest.
Yeah, it'll be a
score.
tough game. They play a really contested brand of footy. Lots of numbers around the contest, so we're preparing ourselves for a real physical game and high pressure, but it'll be a good test for us.
Well, looking forward to it. Well, thank you for coming in. Thanks for sharing some time with us and our listeners as well, and say hi to the brush for us.
The loose brush. Thanks,
The loose
boys.
brush, there it is there. That is Daisy Pearce, coach of the Eagles AFLW.